Simon, is now a good time? There's something I need to talk to you about.
Hey, what's up? If you think it's something I can help with, then I'm happy to talk.
It's about Oliver.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kate. I'm not really supposed to discuss school matters privately. I know we might be childhood friends, but I could get in trouble if people knew we were discussing that kind of thing outside of the official channels. Who's to say how the other moms might react?
I understand. I'm really sorry about this, and I hate to trouble you. But before I call the school, I thought it might be best to talk to you first, since you are his teacher and all. I know it's not normally how things are done, but please, can you make an exception just this once?
Okay, Kate, but I mean it. I really can only do this once. So what's up?
So here's the thing. Oliver recently started saying he doesn't want to go to school anymore. I've asked him so many times, but he won't tell me why.
Huh? By any chance, is that why he's been absent the last 2 days? I'm sorry. I heard you call in reporting it as an illness. Oh, I just thought he was a little under the weather.
Look, there's no kid that age who doesn't feel like taking the day off every now and then, right? So, to be totally honest with you, I did let him have one day off. But then he said he didn't want to go today either, and now he's refusing to go tomorrow too. He won't listen to anything I say. I asked him if he's having some kind of problem at school, but he won't tell me anything at all.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kate. I really thought I had a good idea of the situation in class. But based on what you told me, it sounds like there might be something going on that I don't know about.
I see. Would you mind keeping a closer eye on him for the time being? I'm so sorry to trouble you like this.
It's fine, don't sweat it. Here's what I'll do. I'll speak to some of Oliver's friends about this and see if I can find out what's going on. Don't worry, we'll get to the bottom of this. I'll contact you as soon as I know anything. Don't let this get you down, okay? Let's just see how things play out and take it from there. If you pry too much when he already feels down, I think there's a chance it might make him hate school even more. And then he'll never end up coming back.
You're right. Got it. Thank you. Oh, by the way, if it seems like this is going to drag on any longer, I'll go through the proper channels and contact the school next time. I assume they'll speak to you about it in that case, so I can only apologize in advance for any inconvenience. But you're right. For the time being, let's just see what we can find out. Thanks, Simon.
Hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. Is everything okay? If so, look, we've already crossed the Rubicon, so we might as well at least get to the bottom of what's going on with Oliver. Don't worry, okay? I want Oliver back in class more than anyone. Which is why I want you to know you can talk to me if you're still having problems. I want to help you.
Oh, sorry. I've been so busy I forgot to reply.
Huh? What the hell are you playing at? Your kid's skipping school and you're too busy to reply to me? I didn't know you were that kind of person.
Huh, that's funny. I was just about to say the same thing about you. Because I had no idea you'd do something like this.
Wait a second. Why are you getting mad at me all of a sudden? What did I do?
You told me the other day about why Oliver didn't want to go to school anymore, didn't you? Because he fell out with his friends and felt isolated?
Yeah, well, I mean, this kind of thing happens all the time. I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen it. You know, his friends said they felt bad and want to apologize. Everyone's waiting for him to come back. They even said they were going to go over to your house and try encouraging him to come back.
Yes, and they did, very kindly. But that's not the truth, is it? Because you're the one who turned him into a social pariah in class, aren't you?
Me? I'm his teacher! What the hell are you saying? You really think I'd do that to one of my own students?
Listen to me. All I'm doing is telling the truth.
The truth? Give me a break. You can't seriously be claiming... Do you think there are still teachers around who do that kind of thing? Even elementary school kids have smartphones at this day and age. Our conduct has to be flawless at all times. One wrong move, and suddenly the whole world would be talking about it on social media. Can you just calm down and think about what you're saying?
You're right. It really would be unbelievable if there was a teacher acting like that in this day and age. But believe me, I am calm. I am messaging you from a place of calmness.
No way. How could you say that? We're childhood friends, damn it! Kate, what reason could I possibly have for wanting to turn your son into the class loner?
Oh, I can think of a reason. Because you wanted to take revenge on me for turning down your marriage proposal. Because I married the guy you hated instead.
Wow, that? Seriously? Listen to me carefully. I couldn't give 1/10 of a heck about what happened back then. It was over 10 years ago. It's all water under the bridge to me now. Do you really think I still have feelings for you after all this time? I'm over you.
I didn't think so before all this, at least. That's why I gave you my phone number when I moved back to our hometown. But it would appear I made a huge mistake.
How about you calm down and stop blathering yourself? You're a worn-out old hag with a kid, for God's sakes. Who'd want anything to do with you? Stop fantasizing. And what the hell does me falling out with your husband have to do with anything? Stop coming up with weird excuses to justify your lunatic behavior and start taking your meds. You're creeping me out.
Your dad's a good-for-nothing high school dropout. Your genes are worth less than dirt, and you'll never amount to anything, you miserable little worm. If you dare tell your mom about anything I say to you, you're both gonna need to start looking over your shoulders. Did I miss anything? That's what you said to Oliver in class, isn't it? Not only that, but you banned all of his classmates from speaking to him. What do you think you're doing? Are you seriously trying to take revenge on me through my son? Is this really what kind of person you are?
Wow. Just wow. I'm speechless. This is beyond ridiculous. This is just some pile of baloney you heard from Oliver. Kids are masterful liars. It comes as naturally to them as breathing. Surely you as a mother would know that. Could you please not try and turn me into some kind of monster without having a shred of evidence to back it up? You're tapped in the head. You seemed a lot wiser and more reasonable back when we were kids. Kind of disappointing seeing how you turned out.
It is exactly because I'm a mother that I know he's telling the truth. If I didn't believe my own son, what would that make me? Do you have any idea how much it hurt him to be told such horrible things? By his own school teacher? You call yourself a teacher.
God, what is it with that question? It's like some kind of freaking slogan for angry moms. I'm sick of hearing it already. Yes, actually, I do call myself a teacher. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Make sure you remember it. Being a teacher means I spend more time with the kids throughout the year than their own parents, which is why I need you to start treating what I say with a little bit more credibility. I mean, really, you're going to believe the word of some lying kid over a highly respected adult? Come on, which is it going to be? Who do you believe?
I believe my son!
I see. Okay, Mommy, let me ask you a question. Where's the proof? Hold on, let's see it. If you're going to accuse me of saying all this stuff to Oliver, then you must have proof.
I have no way of proving what you said to Oliver.
Okay, then this conversation is over. If you refuse to cease and desist, I'll report you to the school for harassment.
This conversation is not over. I might not be able to prove that you said anything to Oliver, but I can prove that you banned everyone else in the class from speaking to him.
I gotta be honest, you're really bugging me now. I have no idea what kind of proof you think you have. But if you want to report me to the school, then go right ahead. Do whatever you like.
Okay, I will. That's exactly what I'll do.
This is the perfect opportunity to tell you. So get this. Even if, for argument's sake, I did do something, you should know that I have friends in high places who will be there to protect me if I need it.
Friends in high places? A teacher? Who would protect you?
My uncle. He's on the Board of Education. And if anything happens to me, he'll have my back. To put it bluntly.
So that's why you think you got free reign to do whatever you want, huh? Suddenly, everything makes sense. If that's how you want to play this, I have a little something of my own to tell you.
Huh?
It really is a coincidence about my father-in-law, don't you think?
Your father-in-law?
My husband's dad is the superintendent of the Board of Education. It would be extremely foolish of you to believe you're invincible just because your uncle happens to be a board member.
Really? By the way, about that proof. You just said you had proof?
Oh, what's this? You seem to have changed your tune. Didn't you just tell me to do what I wanted?
Quit harping on and show me the proof already! You need to understand that you don't have a hope in hell of taking me down based on the word of a few brats alone. If that's all you have. It's more than possible they could cook up some story together to try to get me fired. That kind of thing does happen, you know.
The proof is the recording of you threatening your students. Remember? You said it yourself after all, about how even elementary school kids have smartphones in this day and age.
Recording? Cell phones are forbidden in class! They're to be kept in lockers and used only at break time! I don't believe you! All students know they'll be severely reprimanded if they're caught with their phones in class. We have a very strong system of deterrence in place.
Duh, I know that. Who doesn't? Do you seriously not know that kids hide them in their pockets and sneak them into class despite having been a teacher all these years? Besides, since when did the threat of the teacher getting angry ever stop kids from breaking the rules? Most importantly, he did it to help out a friend in need.
Who was it? Who recorded me? I want a name now!
Like hell I'm telling you anything.
Shut up and give me a name! Now!
Even if you knew their name, it wouldn't protect you from what's coming. Have you even thought this through? The teacher who bullies and intimidates his own students versus the students who break the rules to protect their friend? How do you think this ends? You don't need to be a genius to figure it out. In any case, even if you don't understand, you will soon. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have nothing more to say to you. Never contact me again.
You're not going anywhere! Don't try to run away from me! I said I wanted a name! Who recorded me? You will pay for this insolence! You all will! Kate, I think I owe you an apology over what happened with Oliver. I'm truly sorry. The way things are going, it's looking like I might not be a teacher for much longer. I abused my position due to personal grievance, which is absolutely unacceptable and should never have happened. I've reflected on what I did, and I'm truly sorry. So please, will you find it in your heart to forgive me for what I did to Oliver? And Oliver himself? If he forgives me, I might still be in with a shot of salvaging things at work. Please, will you give me a chance to apologize to him in person?
I told you never to contact me again, didn't I? I'll be letting the school know you contacted me directly and not through your lawyer like you were supposed to. I will never forgive you for bullying, victimizing, intimidating, and threatening my son. A person like you should never have been allowed to become a teacher in the first place. I'll make sure you never get a chance to see Oliver again.
Please. I did this for a reason. I really did love you, Kate. Which is why I was so shocked and hurt when I found out you were marrying that high school dropout. I always thought I'd be the one to marry you. I could have made you so much happier. But then when I got down on one knee and you turned me down, my world fell apart.
Yes, Simon. I know.
You do? You finally understand? In that case, maybe you and me could finally give it a shot. I've been waiting all my life for this moment. Will you be mine, Kate?
No, I mean I know what a despicable, hopeless waste of space you are. Did you really think I was going to say yes to your proposal? We never even dated. Never contact me again. You disgust me.
What? You got some nerve. This was all your fault to begin with.
What?
If you weren't in my life to begin with, none of this would have ever happened. I would have never developed feelings for you. I never would have proposed to you. And now this. I wouldn't be in this mess either. If you didn't exist, your son wouldn't have just happened to be a student at the school I teach at. I mean, I'm his form teacher? Is this some big cosmic joke? It was bad enough that you rejected me without having to see your husband's offspring set staring at me every day. It couldn't be more humiliating. Why can't you understand how I feel?
So you're saying this is all my fault? Good. Your absolute lack of remorse only strengthens my resolve to do what I have to do. Mark my words, you will be dealt with. There is no place for someone so deranged and bitter that they drag their personal affairs into their professional life to the extent of damaging their own students' mental health. If you're so desperate for someone to pull you out of the hole you dug, they're gonna need the mother of all shovels, and you're wasting your time with me. Oh, I know. Your uncle's on the Board of Education, isn't he? Try asking him. Oliver became incredibly emotionally unstable after Simon said all that awful stuff to him. One of his classmates noticed that his mood seemed to drop every time the teacher went over to speak to him. He was so concerned that his mom called me after school to discuss the situation. She said she thought there was a possibility that Mr. Pierce, aka Simon, was harassing him. What's more, apparently my son wasn't the only student he'd threatened. Oliver's friends, too, were told that if they told their parents about how they weren't allowed to speak to him, he'd ban everyone from speaking to them, too. After finding out the truth, me and the other moms all joined forces. They were all so kind, and each tasked their children with paying close attention to the dynamics between Simon and Oliver in class, and report back to us with anything they noticed. Everyone soon became aware that something unpleasant was happening, but even still we found it difficult to take definite action for lack of concrete evidence. Which is why I was relieved to hear one of Oliver's friends was clever enough to record Simon threatening him. Even though they knew if they were found out, they'd end up in the same situation or worse. I was moved to tears by the level of kindness and bravery doing something like that must have taken. Oliver told me everything when I gave him the news that we'd been collecting evidence and were ready to present it to the school. I've never seen him look so relieved in my life. Then, we finally made our official report to the school and Board of Education. Simon's teaching license was revoked, and he was fired on the spot. By the way, you know how he said his uncle was a board member? It was actually true. But ironically, far from making everything disappear, as he'd naively expected, he was actually angrier than anyone and vehemently demanded he receive the most severe penalty. It just goes to show, you can't expect someone to have your back when you're in the wrong just because you happen to be related to them. That man is so deluded it's disturbing. With his former bully gone and things at school having calmed down, Oliver made his long-awaited comeback. He graduated with flying colors just this year. I can't deny I was a little anxious at the time about Simon trying to get his own back against my son somehow. I thought about moving house, changing schools, and all sorts of other potential solutions. But ultimately, Oliver was dead set on graduating alongside all of his friends, and I wanted to respect that. I did start dropping him off and picking him up from school by car every day just to be safe. But even still, I'm so happy he was able to graduate at the school he was used to with the friends he loved. I was showered with thanks by the teachers at the school, as well as members of a local crime prevention organization. The other day, Oliver came up to me and said, "Mom, 2 juices and 2 ice creams, please." After which, a beautiful young lady walked in. Oliver got a girlfriend! I found myself moved to tears yet again, this time while preparing juice and ice creams. I'd prefer if you guys didn't mention what a crybaby I am to anyone, though.